Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister and this is the weekly tarot and astrology forecast for Sunday, December 5th through Saturday, December 11th. And Mars is the star this week. We have the first quarter moon coming up. We have some action, have some things getting thrown into chaos. So I'm here to help you through the week. I'm going to go through the transits for the week. And then at the end, I'm going to do a tarot card reading to give you some guidance for how to get through this week. All right, but before we get started, I just want to let you know about a super awesome discount that I'm offering on readings with me. So right now you can get $20 off your very first reading. And all you need to do is go to my website, valentinelister.com. And when you go to book your reading, make sure to enter the discount code 20 bucks to get $20 off of your very first reading. And that offer is good until December 31st, 2021. Real quick, what do I offer? I offer tarot card readings, birth chart readings, a combination of both. Birth chart readings are generally better for understanding what your fate or your destiny is, what the stars had to say about your life, and what would happen like in terms of love, relationships, children, marriage, career, your work, what you were meant to do in this life, like who you are. And it's also good for figuring out what's coming up next for you. So I do some transit forecasting there as well. Tarot card readings are better for specific advice. If you have a really specific question, you want to know, you want to have some guidance on it, want to know what to do, tarot card readings are better for that. And I offer these readings on Zoom, one-on-one chat. It's a live session with me where we meet together. So again, you can book that at valentinelister.com. Use the code 20 bucks by December 31st, 2021. And I'm going to put the info in the description box below underneath the timestamps so you can see it there and get a little more info. All right, so on Monday, December 6th, we have Mars sextile Pluto, and it's making me think it has this energy that we or others are going to feel really comfortable fucking shit up, so to speak, because that's what Mars does. And then because Mars is the god of war, the god of conflict, also actions, but actions without thinking. In a sextile, which is a harmonious, pleasurable, we get along great relationship with Pluto, and that's the god of the underworld, the dark. So things being hidden and unseen, and Pluto ruled the underworld where we could find our heaven or our hell, depending on how we looked at things. And so there is this energy also that I'm getting of something like selfish desires or cutthroat energy, because not only is Mars this god, which represents cutting and action, could also be burns and rashes. But we also have Venus in Capricorn in conjunction with Pluto. So really our desires coming up. And Capricorn, a lot of people don't think of Capricorn this way, except if you're into tarot and you watched my videos, you saw that the devil rules Capricorn. While Capricorn is ruled by Saturn and is very responsible and trustworthy and takes care of things, Capricorn also has a hedonistic side where they want money, good sex, good food. They want pleasure, and they're like, give it to me. I don't care how hard you have to work for it. I work hard, you work harder, and show me what you're made of. So we have Venus, kind of having these dark or hidden desires. They could be awesome, have a beautiful energy to them too. I'm not saying it's all bad, but we also have the moon in Capricorn in its detriment. And the moon in Capricorn is not touchy and feely and nurturing. It's stop crying, do what you need to do, take care of what you need to take care of, be practical, be realistic. I don't want to hear it anymore. Everybody just needs to do what they need to do. Leave me alone and give me what I ask for. So again, this cold cutting action. moving things forward to like meet our desires, or having things come up that are really disruptive, having fighting or conflict in a way that might bring up some hidden things like that we've pushed under the rug, or like hidden desires that we really haven't looked at before, and we see them coming up. So I'm going to give you some examples. Okay, well, one example that I was thinking it could be is even something like surgery, like having surgery. Some of you might be having on the body. So let me know in the comments, because that's kind of the energy of this too, like having a procedure done where you, like there's literal cutting, but it could be for a good reason, but not necessarily the most pleasant thing ever. Other examples are just like things like coming up from the depths. So like my daughter got car sick and threw up in the car. Sorry if you guys are queasy. I tend to just talk before thinking, so that's me. Anyway, so a lot of times like that can happen, things coming from the depths, even like from your stomach, especially with the moon in Capricorn there, and that like physical energy, like kind of in that sextile with Pluto. It also, with Pluto, can be plumbing problems, problems with sewage, problems with like water in the basement, things along those lines. But it also could be finding things that are lost, which is like not as much of a heavy energy. Like I found sunglasses that I had lost in my mom's trunk. So it was hidden in her trunk, and I found her my sunglasses. So it could be like something like that. I had problems with my transmission in the car. So like this action in the underbelly was a little disrupted. Oh, me and my husband watched a Netflix documentary during a similar transit about how to be a tyrant, about dictators. So sorry guys, with like Pluto and Capricorn and Venus and the moon, I'm thinking dictator energy. And as someone with Venus and Capricorn, I'm around a lot of Capricorns. Sometimes we're okay with being dictators. Saturn ruled energy, we're just like, smash it down. Let's like, as long as things get done, who cares? So there might be a little bit of like a dictator, or like a overbearing, harsh energy from ourselves or others with this transit as well. Okay, and the next transit that we have is Mercury square Neptune on Tuesday, December 7th, which happens to be my birthday. Shout it out, happy birthday to me. Just kidding, guys, you don't have to wish me a happy birthday if you don't want to, but if you do, I appreciate it too. Anyway, so Mercury, the god of mischief, games, trickery, planning, business, money, is in like a fighting aspect, a square aspect with Neptune. A square is of the nature of Mars, so Mercury is fighting Neptune. Neptune is that god of the sea, so this like watery illusions, disguises, obsessions, could be fantasies in love, but whatever it is, what we're seeing is not real. It can be a pleasant illusion, like if you're on a psychedelic, it can be super pleasant, or scary, but regardless, it's not going to be clear. All right, and even though Mercury is like mischievous and stuff, Mercury likes to think things out and plan them out. And Mercury is in its detriment in Sagittarius. So we're looking at like super spontaneous action in relation to Neptune. And that's not necessarily good, because I'm thinking like there's this opportunity to lose money on a scam, like getting scammed on a purchase or something that you're doing, or a business plan, or even like communication, like a negotiation in a relationship where you're trying to figure things out and come to terms. You may be getting duped in some way, because there may be this element of deceptive action where what's really happening is unclear, even though you think it's the truth. Like you're super inspired to move forward and like communicate or take action, or inspired communication or inspired plans. There may be deception there, and what's happening is unclear. You could be getting info that's unsettling or creates disillusion, because Mercury is also communication, went between realms, to give messages. So some examples, some of them are kind of dark. This one's not so bad. We had like a nest of baby birds outside our window, and this past like summer, I think, yeah, I think it was around the summer, and it was kind of late in the season, but we got to see them grow up. But the baby birds were like almost grown and almost going out of our nest, and like they grow really fast. It's like a week or two from baby to bird, and we were like, they grow so fast, so we were kind of sad. This one is pretty dark in the news. You know, in Afghanistan, there was that bombing outside Kabul airport. So that happened while Mercury was square Neptune. Also, at my friend's job who works in mental health, there was a lot of violence there. So Neptune, if you have mental health issues or work with people with mental health, Neptune is not a great transit. Because, you know, if you're have trouble seeing things clearly and seeing reality in the first place and seeing things, Neptune just messes with you and like trying to figure out with like what's real. So don't try to see things clearly. Sometimes you just have to rest, go with the energy, not try to plan things out or try to communicate, you know, like just take it easy with the Neptune transit because the body can take it hard. But it could be a hopeful image too. So back to like what happened at Kabul airport, there are also images of soldiers like helping children and babies, which I found super inspiring. You know, it was like a hopeful image in the midst of like this really chaotic, like kind of pretty dark energy. Okay, so the next transit we have is Mars square Jupiter, and that's happening on December 8th, which is a Wednesday. And so this makes me think we're being pushed forward into action for a greater cause. And, you know, we have a very well dignified Mars and pretty well dignified Jupiter. I mean, it's in, you know, Saturn sign in Aquarius in those last degrees. So maybe a little bit intense, this energy as we get to the last degrees. They're usually ruled by malefics. The planet knows it's transitioning and transitions are tough. So last degrees can be kind of tough, Mars and Jupiter in 26 degrees. And so you might have like emotionally like a volatile action with having Mars and Scorpio, but something where we're discerning. The moon is in conjunction with Saturn. So kind of, I'm thinking like mature energy, kind of putting forth our ideas, knowing not everybody is going to agree with what we think the bigger picture is, but definitely asserting ourselves anyway because of the importance of it and the greater good of like asserting ourselves in some way for a bigger cause. Mars square Jupiter could be kind of like tense energy. Mars, you know, it could be asserting yourself for a bigger cause. It could be being pushed forward into action for that greater good. But it can also be taking action, kind of thinking that you know it all and kind of a bravado energy. Like, I know the big picture, so I'm gonna like push forward my ideas. So it could be good or bad. I'm thinking could be like really tense because the square is of the nature of Mars. But when we have a square, we also have productive energy. So I'm thinking it might be a little intense, but productive energy that's, you know, necessary. So with Mars square Jupiter, you know, I have some examples, and some are minor, some are big. So sometimes when these transits come through, it's minor. Sometimes it's a big deal, right? So my daughter got a literal cut on her nose. So whenever Mars is involved, accidents, injuries, impulsiveness, rashes, cuts, burns, is a possibility. It's always possible. But I also came into contact with back in the day, I mentioned it before, my husband's physical therapist. He was very assertive, like, this is what I do, you're going to listen to me. But he was also very wise. So this sense of asserting yourself with wisdom and like pushing your ideas forward because you just have this sense like emotionally, like it's necessary, like intuitively, like emotionally, like you feel like this action is appropriate and necessary. Also, I thought this is funny, like to my husband, hello, if he's watching, on like when Mars squared Jupiter, he ordered an extravagant dinner for his birthday. So it was like asserting himself for a bigger cause, a celebration. Jupiter can be also celebration energy. So hopefully maybe you're asserting yourself to have some fun as well. Let me know in the comments, any of these transits and how you experience them. Okay, here's where also Mars is a star. We have the first quarter moon. So it is the nature of Mars, right? The sun is squaring the moon. The first quarter moon is always where the universe makes us face a fight head on. I feel like I pay more attention to the first quarter moon than the full and new moon sometimes, because I know like there's some tense energy coming up. I was born kind of a little bit after first quarter moon too, so sometimes you might kind of be more in tune with the moon cycles that you were born under too as well. So that might be like why I react the way I do, but it's really interesting. So we have the moon, first quarter moon in Pisces, Jupiter ruled sign of like wisdom, friendship, optimism, in an emotional way, like really connecting to others through our emotions and finding wisdom in our everyday experiences. But we're going to be fighting a lot of disillusionment in our environment. I feel like that's the fight, because we do have the sun in Sagittarius, the moon in Pisces. They're Jupiter ruled signs. And so Jupiter like wants to know the truth. They want to find out the truth through experience. They want to see the bigger picture and connect things. And they are also like want things to be like in terms of friendship, I can't find the word, but like for a bigger picture and bringing people together versus being divisive. But the moon is 1 degree conjunction with Neptune. And so again, what I mentioned, fighting disillusionment in our environment. So wanting to see the truth, but being deceived. And so basically, like someone in our environment is deceiving us and we're fighting to see the truth or bigger picture. And we may really feel down and like sad about it and very weepy. Like Pisces is a very emotional sign, so we may feel emotionally volatile. Also with the moon can represent the body. So we also might find just in our bodies, like we might feel sick or run down or very like sensitive to our bodies in some way. Yeah, and again, that disillusionment. So Saturday, December 11th, yeah, I'm thinking something is up because, well, there's a couple of things. Then I'm going to bring in Sunday too, because that's happening early morning Sunday. So anyway, Saturday, we have Venus conjunct Pluto, and then we have Mercury sextile Jupiter. So Venus is like our hopes, desires, fears, oh no, sorry, Pluto. Pluto would be like our heaven or hell. So what's hidden underneath our hopes, desires, and fears. And when it comes to Venus, things like sex, money, pleasure, relationships, love, even marriage. So something being revealed about our hopes, desires, and fears, like having that come up. And, Venus is a very sensitive spot, like when it comes to love. So it could be great. It could, I know I had my husband ask me out on a date, during Venus, Pluto aspects. But it could be like really unpleasant what comes up. We don't know. It's whatever you haven't dealt with. And that's being revealed, like a secret, a hidden secret. But then we have Mercury sextile Jupiter, which makes me think like the truth about a situation is coming out or being revealed, and it's unpleasant or uncomfortable and clumsy, right? Because we have Mercury in Sagittarius, so very direct, cutting, like, whoa, can't believe you just said that. Secrets being discovered or revealed about a bigger picture or something bigger going on. And then I'm bringing in Sunday, December 12th, because we have that aspect coming in very early on Sunday. So just want to give you a heads up before next week's transit report. Sun square Neptune. So it makes me think heartbreak. It makes me think some kind of information that's revealed when it comes to love or relationships, or our hearts, or what we think is true being revealed and creating some kind of devastating heartbreak, because the sun is all about the truth, illuminating the truth, vitality, legacy, what's eternal, the people we look up to. So like fathers, spouses, leaders, bosses, squaring Neptune. So some kind of disillusionment in that area, and like learning about things not being true and being lied to or being deceived in some way. And so the sun can take this really, really tough. So it could be like we have this feeling of not believing in love anymore, feeling betrayed by someone you looked up to or someone you loved, or what you thought was the truth, or a bigger cause, both in a bigger sense and a personal sense in your relationships. So for example, like I had this aspect come through. I had a bad fight with my husband. I've also had, because I have the sun in Neptune, Neptune has been squaring my sun. So I've had a lot of disillusionment and heartbreak with this, like the Neptune and Pisces aspect. So basically, I had a bad fight with him a little while ago, and I just didn't believe in love anymore. I was playing sad music. If you listen to Tori Amos in high school, that's what I was listening to, and Fiona Apple, and I was crying a lot, but it made me feel better. So if you need to play sad music, do that. That can be really helpful. Do things that are nurturing. Eat food that you enjoy. Get in the bathtub. Get in your water. Anything to ground and center your energy. The stone citrine can be very good for your heart, give you the confidence back that you need. Citrus fruits are very good for the heart, even roses, because they have vitamin C in them and they're good for the heart. They're related to Venus, more so Venus. You can also feel sick. So another example is my mom felt like she was getting sick with a low-grade fever. Interestingly, when there was a Sun square Neptune aspect, there was like themes of psychosis. So you may see themes like that, like just around, and also like the trippy aspect of Neptune, the psychedelic, where I saw the flowers outside my window were super trippy. Yeah, and this could be in your relationships. It also could be in family relationships, like someone you looked up as a father figure, even mother figure, but whoever like you looked up to as a leader in some way in your personal life or on a bigger scale, like politics or even in the media, like someone who's an entertainer, like just feeling disillusioned by them and feeling heartbreak. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the reading for this week to give us some advice on what's going on and attend to our minds, body, and spirit. Okay, so pulled a card for the energy of the week. So interesting. The energy of the week is on the Queen of Cups. So the energy of the week, the focus is on a woman who is or it could be a man too, but it's like a maternal, or, you know, however you identify, like a maternal, caring, nurturing energy. We're going to be focused on this like mother figure, someone who nurtures, who cares for us, is a caretaker. That has that feminine energy. It can be like, it can end up being any energy, because like sometimes I've had this card come up like for my husband, who's very nurturing and maternal. But whoever you look up to as a motherly figure, like there's going to be a lot of attention on this figure, like a maternal energy, who's staying close to her environment, just keeping watch over this maternal energy, her heart, her emotions, things of that nature. And the advice for the week is the King of Pentacles reversed. So the advice is actually also keeping an eye on this like masculine energy. Interesting. Let me see what I'm getting from this card. It's like I'm seeing, okay, the Capricorn, like the bull come out. So this like, oh, okay. So this is actually not too bad with the message, the advice I'm getting through. So this masculine, like adult, mature energy, like the King of Pentacles reversed, we're looking at like how far they've come. How much progress that they've made. Like this person that might have been a little bit hedonistic, selfish, self-destructive, looking at the progress that they've made and really giving them credit for how far they've come is the advice for the week. The outcome for the week is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so we may have information that's like confusing or just like unclear, like disillusions, like we don't know what to think. We're kind of lost in our emotions and our passions and desires, just not seeing things clearly and seeing the crown fall. So seeing that again, like the leaders, the people we look up to, both either in a personal sense or larger like collective sense, just feeling like let down by people that are leading us. And it really could be as small as like a father or something your boss did, or something that a teacher or a mentor did, versus like an actual politician or someone in the media, you know, that we look to for information. I'm really feeling maybe let down, emotional about that. So what can we do to nurture our mind, body, and spirit? So the mind, I like this energy. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. Let me see what I'm getting from this card. Yeah, so something about our emotions, like our mind is in our emotions, and yeah, and that's okay. That's the energy I'm getting. I'm like, is there another message? I'm always like, is there, like, that's okay. Like, we're okay being lost in our emotions, that there is a time to be in our emotions. Um, and this energy of we're just not trying to figure things out the way we did. So again, just a reminder, I will like take an image. I will show you guys the cards after the reading. Um, yeah, so being okay with not being able to figure things out. Um, and maybe reflecting internally on our emotions and self-soothing and just like comforting ourselves and just finding groundedness and like comforts, like physical comforts in some way. Like our mind is not even thinking. That's the energy I'm getting. Like our mind isn't really active. It's just feeling. And that's like a really good thing. It's a really like healthy thing. So our body is okay. All right. So maybe we'll see some sparks fly because we have the Page of Wands. So in our bodies, maybe we're experiencing pleasure with a young male figure. That's what I'm getting. This seeing wisdom in giving into our desires, maybe making love or partying, having fun, having a good time with the male figure. I'm just getting this image of like lust and desires in our bodies for this person. And this King of Pentacles, what I'm getting, and this Page of Wands, like can be the same person. Really giving into our desires in our bodies and maybe making love or whatever, like going, I don't know, it could be going out for food or just having a fun time or listening to music. I don't know, like going to concerts. I don't know what people really do anymore because I'm home with my kids a lot. So, but really like finding pleasure in the body with this person. It doesn't even need to be an intimate relationship. It could be like going out with a friend, like a young, like masculine, like outgoing type energy that really sees value in their experiences. Oh, interesting. We got this card again. This was in like the spirit position. I don't know, it was last week or the week before. One of those weeks we have the Emperor reversed. So this is a time in our spirit where we're reevaluating the way that we're taking action. Getting our feet on the ground in a solid way that feels like very grounded. And I feel like really being discerning about the actions that we're taking. Like we're not moving forward until we're clear and we're working towards like this like harvest is the word I'm getting. But we know it's a work towards an outcome. It can't be something that's like a rash decision or something that we do like spontaneously necessarily, but we have to have the wisdom to be discerning, to take our time in making decisions or making a plan and seeing things through. So that's all I'm getting from the cards. So I'm going to turn the camera so that you guys can see them. All right, guys, so here are the cards for the week. So if you want to reflect on them a little more, you can just pause the video. So the card here we have is the energy for the week. This is the advice for the week, this card. And then we have the final outcome. And then on the top, we have mind, body, and spirit. Love you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great week. Let me know how it went, and I'll see you guys soon. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.